Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about how you can fix your gaps in star stable dressage, how you can make them better, and how you can get your instructor to stop yelling at you. So personally, I've never had a lot of issues with gaps, luckily, but I know many of my friends who have. So I'm going to be talking you through the strategies that I use to combat gaps. Now, if you don't know what gaps are, it's kind of hard because I don't have anyone to help me demonstrate, which is one of the main reasons I did not want to film this video. But we will use this horse, okay? You're our demonstrator today, Connemara. Okay, so imagine this is the horse in front of me in line. When we're trotting, you want to be trotting right about here. So it's really strange to some people why you have to do gaps. The thing is, we have what's called screen delay, in which I'm sure you've heard of it before, in which whatever you see on your screen is a little bit earlier than when everyone else sees on their screen. So if you're trotting right here in line on your screen, then on everyone else's screen it'll look like you're trotting right here. That's just how network works. I don't know everything about it. I don't know the science. That's just what I know. So you want to trot right about here. This is called HI gaps. Some people trot right here. This is like OT gaps. But I usually trot right about here. Okay, so now that we've covered exactly what gaps are and what you need to do gaps, I'm going to talk about the ways that you can work on gaps and make sure that when you're in lessons, you're able to fix gaps. So one of the main things that I tell people who struggle with gaps is to canter up. Now, if you have tried this before, you probably know that cantering up is a pain. What it is you're trotting in line and the person in front of you is faster, so they're going to kind of move ahead of you, and you need to maintain your HI or OT gap. So you're going to want to canter up to maintain the gap. But for some people, that's very difficult. So I'll tell you one of my favorite ways that I like to fix gaps, and it's not really very noticeable, is to cut corners. Now, I know a lot of people might be against this way because you are kind of messing up the shape of the cut. For example, if you're going to dye a C, you're going to cut diagonally. If I cut that corner, then it will mess up the shape a little bit. But personally, as long as it's not a huge cut, you should be fine. And who knows, maybe someone has a really tiny gap and they need to make it bigger, so they'll make the shape again. I don't know if that makes sense, but basically, if your gap is too big and you need to make it smaller, you need to get inside someone, then you can just cut the corner and you should be a lot closer to them. Now, another way, if you're not completely comfortable with that, is you can belt early. Belting is when you hit the wall and you make a U-turn, like so, and everyone follows. Now, if you are not the lead of the line and you need to catch up and make your gap smaller again, then you can belt early, and this will put you closer behind the person in front of you. That's one of my favorite ways just because it's not very noticeable. And you can also do this the opposite way. If your gap is too small, then you can make it bigger by belting later. And both ways work just as well for combating both problems. And those are two of my favorite ways. Now, if none of these ways work for you, I have another strategy that is even easier than doing any sort of trotting pattern. you don't need to do anything besides putting on horseshoes. Now, these are my favorite horseshoes. They are my own handmade horseshoes from the quest that I did. Most people have already done this quest with Conrad in Moorland, so if you haven't, you may not have these horseshoes, but you can also purchase them. Now, the reason why I'm saying these specific horseshoes is because they have some of the best stats I've ever seen. It's +3 strength, +2 swiftness, +3 discipline, and +2 agility. And that, I have found, gives me so much more speed. I'm able to do a lot of the turns and catch up a lot faster. So if that's something that you think you might be interested in, check your inventory for better horseshoes, or you can also purchase them in the global store, I believe. Right here you can buy your own horseshoes. Many dressage riders don't use horseshoes or use very low stat horseshoes, which is where you have the advantage. Now, unfortunately, my club already has horseshoes in the club outfit, which I guess is a plus for all of us because we all are at similar speeds, but for someone who's extra slow, that is not an advantage. But yeah, so double check, see if you can have better horseshoes. And those are my top tips for combating gaps in Star Stable Dressage. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye bye.